Michael Barbaro, who's the daily host of their podcast, which had, I think in those days, even as high as 2 or 3 million listeners. But it was that day that it was announced essentially that you should panic and we should shut down the country for a killer virus that's going to kill 1 in 6 of your friends. Now, we need to understand the implications of the fact that a number of features of this. One, that the New York Times has chosen. Why did the national security state choose the New York Times and Michael Barbaro and Donald G. McNeil, their lead virus reporter, to be the ones to announce this? Now, you could say, well, they didn't choose it. It was just editorial pen. I don't believe that. Because that day, they repudiated 100 years of history. We have always faced pandemics in this country, and we've always understood that public health required one thing above all else, which was public calm. So you can go back and look. What did they say about 2009 H1N1? They said, calm down, it's fine. What did they say about SARS-CoV-1 in 2003? They said, these things are self-limiting. It's going to be okay. And they said the same thing about 1968 and 69, the same thing in 1957, 58. We'll figure out the therapeutics. For that matter, they called out the 1929 parrot flu and said, people are going crazy. You need to calm down. This is not consistent with public health. But on that day of February 27th, they chose an alternative route, which was they chose to stoke public panic. And I wrote Michael after this. I said, who are you working for, buddy? Why did you do this? Who came to you? Who got to you? Who came to your office and told you to do this? This is a disaster. You're going to destroy public health in this country with this. And they did. They did. The next day, they ran Donald G. McNeil's article called To Take on the Coronavirus, You Have to Go Medieval on It. He advocated shutting down all travel, restrictions between the states, closing down all institutions, and so on. He really did prepare the way for the calamity that we face today.
It's fascinating that they use that phrase medieval because it is literally a medieval strategy, hiding in your cave until this mysterious thing that we don't know anything about, the plague.
Pre-scientific.
Yeah, pre-scientific.
Yeah.
I also discovered at some point, I can't pinpoint it like you have, but for my entire career, I've understood that most what we used to call mainstream media was hostile to my libertarian values.
Sure.
But I didn't ever assume that they were essentially on the payroll. And I maybe I shouldn't say that way, but they're explicit apparatchiks for the biosecurity state now. And those talking points came from somewhere. We'll probably never know where. But the orchestration of it, the propaganda preciseness of it, is something that I think we're still trying to wrap our head around.